Hello and welcome to The Frame. We begin with the City Council Finance Subcommittee's meeting from Tuesday, September 9th, as local leaders assessed the costs associated with hosting the Boston Marathon in Framingham. According to municipal documents, they cost the city about $101,500 to host the 2025 iteration of the race back in April along Waverly Street, while they received just under $83,000 from the Boston Athletic Association, the organization that organizes the marathon each year. Those costs were mainly made up by regular and overtime pay for police, fire, DPW, Parks and Rec, and health department workers. At-large City Councilor George King called the gap between the city's overall cost and the BAA's contribution, quote, ridiculous and, quote, kind of insulting. He called on local officials to request more BAA assistance. If they don't do so, he said, the city should consider not permitting the marathon to pass through Framingham.
Framingham taxpayers should not be picking up the difference here. So I think we should talk to them, say we want more money, and if we don't get it, tell them we're not going to give them the permit. They have no right to run through our streets.
One of the major costs from this past April's race for the municipal government was related to police overtime pay, a factor that Police Chief Lester Baker said is due to how extensive planning and safety prep has become since the 2013 Boston Marathon and the fatal bombing that took place at the finish line that year. He told the Finance Subcommittee that planning for the marathon in Framingham now begins as far out as 10 months from Patriots' Day.
There's a lot of security, there's a lot of planning that goes into this. Those are the numbers you don't see.
While King said he understood the need for those measures and the price for them to be carried out, he believes the BAA should be paying for any extended planning. Members of the subcommittee expressed a desire to invite the BAA and their officials in for a meeting with the full City Council in the future to discuss this matter. State health officials have announced that a human case of West Nile virus has been detected within Framingham. A local man became the third person to test positive for West Nile in the state this year, according to the Massachusetts Department of Public Health last Friday, as the city's risk for the virus has since been raised to the high designation. This comes in the wake of positive West Nile samples being collected in Framingham last month for mosquitoes, whose bites are the most common way the virus is spread to humans. The vast majority of West Nile cases are asymptomatic, though it's possible for serious illness to set in, especially for older people, along with those with compromised immune systems. In turn, local and state health officials are reminding residents again to take precautions so that they can reduce their risk of being exposed to West Nile virus. Insect repellent should be applied, while long sleeves and pants should be worn outside. Limit your time outdoors between dusk and dawn, which is the peak time for mosquitoes to be biting. Standing water around homes should be drained in order to prevent mosquito eggs from being laid, while screens for doors and windows should be repaired or replaced. Continuing now with our series of interviews with candidates who are up for some of the top positions within the local government this fall, as we move on to the City Council race in District 3. Adam Steiner, who has held the position for 4 terms, announced earlier this year that he's not seeking re-election. In turn, a pair of candidates will be on the ballot: former Strategic Initiatives and Financial Oversight Committee member Mary Kate Feeney, as well as former town meeting member Ken Weiss. We spoke with both candidates in the studio recently to learn more about their backgrounds, campaigns, and priorities. Here's a preview of those conversations.
I have a very unique background of combination of grassroots organizing, policy expertise, and actual community leadership. And I think that that's the energy that is really needed on the council.
We do have public participation, but I think it's a bit harder to get change as a citizen, and you really have to be involved and be a city councilor to do that.
Those full interviews with Feeney and Weiss are available to watch now on Access Framingham's cable and YouTube channels. A reminder that the municipal election in Framingham will take place on Tuesday, November 4th. The deadline to register to vote is Saturday, October 25th. You can read more about that D3 race along with the other top stories we cover every week on our website, www.theframe.news. With full written articles, feature pieces shot across the community, and a calendar filled with upcoming local events, we've got you covered. Be sure that you're subscribed to our email newsletter too, so that you never miss a beat of our local journalism coverage. Recently, we were invited to take a tour of Employment Options' clubhouse in Marlborough. The organization provides mental health resources to members across the Metro West region, including Framingham, through educational and employment opportunities, along with additional services and advocacy for the community. Executive Director Shannon Leary and organization member Noelle Middleton shared more about their experience with Employment Options and gave insight into the work that they accomplish every day locally.
It's a very caring community of folks who have a mental health condition who really want to feel part of something larger than themselves.
For more on that tour with Employment Options, be sure to find our video on the Frame's social media pages. And finally this week, a preview of our Frame by Frame segment. Circle of Hope, a nonprofit group based out of Needham, provides clothing, hygienic essentials, and other necessities to infants, kids, and adults facing homelessness and housing insecurity across the region, including students at Framingham High School. We spoke with program coordinator and FHS teacher Mark Goldschmidt, along with Circle of Hope's executive director Ari Barbanel, to learn more about their Get Set program, which was created to assist college and career-bound youth. Let's take a look.
$40,000 worth of goods just for Framingham High School, just for our homeless population. I can't get that number out of my head.
We're giving students an opportunity to think about other important things and not some of these really basic needs that we would love to share with them.
When a student can sit in class and feel comfortable, they can learn.
As always, you can find that full frame-by-frame piece on our website, theframe.news, along with our social media accounts. Follow @FrameNews_ on Instagram and search for The Frame on Facebook for more local coverage. Subscribe to Access Framingham's channel on YouTube and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we publish new content. Full Frame episodes are posted onto Spotify as well. Follow us and listen to or watch the program there. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of our entire team, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.